Hey everybody, this is Andrew with Things from Another World on the web at TFAW.com, and I've had a moment to sit down with Charles Brownstein to talk about the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
Hey Andrew.
Charles, appreciate it. Thanks for taking a second with us.
Absolutely.
So, for the uninitiated, what is the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund?
Since 1986, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund has been the front line defending the First Amendment rights of comic book readers, writers, artists, and publishers. We're the ones who, when local law enforcement goes into a store and says, I don't think you should be selling this, whether it's Sin City or Buffy or Hellboy or manga, we're the ones that acquaint them with the idea of the First Amendment. We're the ones that point out that these comics are protected. And when cases escalate to the level of going to court, which they do more often than you would think, we're the ones that find the lawyers and pay for the casework to get done so the comics can be free.
I'm sure a lot of people coming into this are thinking, you know, we live in America, First Amendment rights are protected. That doesn't happen very often. I mean, does it happen more frequently than the average person would think?
I think that censorship is cyclical, and so you'll go through periods where there will be a lot of stings against comics because of certain comics having sexual content. You'll go through certain periods where there will be a lot of library challenges for comics because they have violent content or language. To a certain degree, some of the casework is healthy because it means that people are noticing us, like the library censorship cases. You don't want them to be censored, but you want them to notice, hey, we don't understand what comics are, it's our job to educate. In terms of the actual litigation, in terms of people actually getting arrested for comics, a lot of those things tend to happen in election years. A lot of those things tend to be really politically opportunistic because comics are undercapitalized. It takes a front line like the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund that can go out there and marshal the resources and marshal the community so that our stores aren't being taken down and our readers aren't being intimidated for enjoying this thriving medium.
So I know a lot of people are going to look at it and think, well, it's just comics, but how does the censorship of comics affect everybody?
The law is a web of precedent, and so when the comic book retailer is gone after, as indeed one retailer in Rome, Georgia was, for selling a historical art comic about Picasso, where Picasso is depicted naked, and he is intimidated and prosecuted, then it creates this domino effect where if he actually lost and if the fund had not defended him to a successful win, that comic could have led to books like Watchmen being self-censored and taken off the shelves, or even prosecuted because there's a book with full frontal male nudity. You then get into the issue of, well, if they took one art book and were able to put somebody in jail for it, then what of the entire universe of art books? And once you start getting into that, you get into a very difficult slippery slope that can affect all sorts of media. The fund is really active in watching for unconstitutional legislation that would affect how violence is displayed and depicted, or how adult materials are displayed and depicted, because we want to defend art, and comics are right now the most intellectually adventurous and expressive form of art going. And so by protecting the expanding medium that we have, we're also protecting the expanding frontiers of media everywhere.
Seems like a pretty large endeavor. I mean, how do you tackle it?
The fund is a team effort, and it's a team effort that requires the active participation of everybody that loves the medium, from readers to retailers to creators to publishers to lawyers and beyond. And so what the fund does is provide this community hub so that we can bring all of these various inputs together and fight the challenges when they come up.
So how can somebody join the fight?
You can join the fight by visiting CBLDF.org, that's our website, and learning more about our cases, talk about it in your community, pay attention in your community, and get involved, spread the word. If you want to help our work monetarily, we have all kinds of ways to do that. We accept donations, we have memberships where you can get cool premiums, we have signed books by great creators. Basically, if you don't have money but you want to spread the word and learn, we need you. If you do have a few dollars to spare and you want to help us create the resources that get out there and protect comics, please make a contribution. Please become a member. Every bit helps, every bit keeps the fight going.
I know you all do a lot of big events. I mean, not only day to day and week to week, but like here at San Diego Comic-Con, I mean, there's an auction coming up. Will you tell us a little about that?
Absolutely. Again, one of the cool things about being this great team is that we get contributions from all over the community. So here at Comic-Con, we have something like 10 events occurring. Tonight we're speaking at the welcome party at the Westgate. We have an auction that TFAW generously created a centerpiece for, which includes art from people like Jaime Hernandez and Eric Powell and Mike Mignola. We have some classics in that auction. We have some Harvey Kurtzman art. We have some Paul Pope art. Just tons of great stuff. We also have programs going every day of the con called CBLDF Master Sessions, which are 1-hour sessions about an element of craft. So today we had Jill Thompson and Charles Vess exploring the painter's process, where they're projecting live on a big screen how a painting is created. We have Mike Mignola and Dave Gibbons and Jeff Smith and several artists doing life drawing tomorrow. Terry Moore, Carmilla Derrico, and David Mack. And all of that original art goes into the auction. The fund's really interested in finding the convergence between education and community building in its fundraising. And so that's a lot of what you're seeing here at San Diego.
And for people who are down here at the con right now, when's that auction taking place and where?
Our auction's going to be Saturday night in room 2 at the Convention Center at 7:15. Should run about 2 hours. Please come by our booth, 1920. We're right across the street from DC Comics and Neil Adams, right on the 1900 aisle. We'll have bidder numbers for you and a complete list. And you can also check out CBLDF.org, and you'll see the auction list right at the top of the page.
Well, as a member of the comic community and a lifelong reader, certainly appreciate everything you're doing.
Thanks so much, Andrew.
And anything you want to say to close out?
I hope to see all of you here at the Comic-Con. Please come by our booth. Please say hello, and please help us spread the word about the fight.
Thank you, Charles. And make sure and visit www.cbldf.org to find out how you can be a part of the fight. Appreciate it, Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you.